Hello and welcome back. This is Greg from The Invincible Truth, and I'm going to continue the series on individualization and finding inner peace and learning how to forgive. So the subject today is forgiving, and sometimes it's easier said than done. The perspective one has to look at is that during our times of innocence growing to experience, those who were observing us were the authority on knowing what the right thing was to do. And sometimes that always doesn't work out that well. But as we grow decades away from that, we learn to look at that with a new perspective and find forgiveness for ourselves for something we once have felt guilt for. And once we figure out that that's not the appropriate place, finding forgiveness for those who didn't know how to make the right choices. So I've gone ahead and I've created this underpainting with lots of chaos and color. And I'm going to go in, I've pre-selected some images. I'm just going to go with them randomly and let's see what we can create. First one I'm going to begin with is my idol, my image, someone I aspire to, Miss Monroe. And I found this picture with a look in her eye that's quite difficult to mock what she's feeling. So I want to begin with that dead center, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut this out as we speak and get this on here to begin the journey into finding forgiveness for ourselves and for those who have shared our life experience with us. And we will begin with Marilyn, for she is a woman who, life's uncertainty, mother who had mental illness and being brought from place to place, and having a lot of insecure moments or not knowing who and what she was. But ironically, she became an idol. So we're going to put her here. And we will build from this point out. Next thing I like to bring onto the image board is kings and crowns and things that in our lifetime we aspire to in government and in religion, and those who claim to have our best interest at heart. And I'm going to lie these on in and around this lovely image of Marilyn. Here we go, and I'm going to cut this out quickly. I'm going to make it spiky. Life feels spiky at times. Sometimes we're drawn to that, that bad boy, and he hurt me. I want to see, I contain that soul. Oh, we all know that feeling. Either the one someone's trying to tame, or even ourselves at times. We find wanting to, after we notice some of the things we may continue that may not bring us all the best, we want to try to rid ourselves of those things. It's all a process. And through that process, being hard on oneself doesn't really serve the highest of purposes. So then again, we must learn to forgive and begin again. And that's what life is all about. They have that, those without sin be the first to condemn. And there'll be many rocks a-flying. But is that a reality? Or is that just their own individual perception of oneself? And again, if we stay calm within our center, although we may hear, we just don't necessarily have to have it affect us. because that's what they want to do. They want to trigger a response, an effect, so they know that they still have your attention. And when they don't have that, they're lost. You know, kings like followers, and, you know, but I'm going to break this in right here. Down. And I think this image is wonderful too. This is the crown that they bestowed upon our Christ without him asking, in a mockery form, and to inflict pain. For those who have kindness in their soul and create a draw of people because of that kindness, this is something that affects those who try to be a king with force, and ultimately force is not necessary to follow someone with a good soul and a good spirit. Kindness is the only thing that we really aspire to, and that we don't need any school book lessons. That comes from our soul. We have that within. So no teacher necessary. Just be kind. And, you know, for the grace of God, there go I, and know no other man's story without having walked a day in his life. And here we go. We'll place that there. And, that wasn't better words. And flight. All of this is a flight of sorts. And so I'm going to add this lovely little sparrow along its way. Let it find its place. Find its place. There. And now nice and smooth. And also, I want to speak to eyes. Eyes. Open your eyes wide open. Eyes that see you, follow you, and with the intentions or the thought of that they're guiding and healing you, and not really knowing what those intentions really are truthfully. And this image is lovely. I love the way it's configured, and I'm going to cut along some of these lines that they have already dissected. This side here that I'm cutting out is actually ears and lips. It's often said we have 2 ears to listen twice as much, and 1 mouth to speak when we have found our level of truth. So let me lay in the lips and ears. And again, we're going to let it find its place. There we go. And then within that, I'm going to cut out the eyes. And again, letting it find its own place. And this one here is pretty cool. The word I was going to use is graphic, but in a humane way, if I can say that. Because there's always someone trying to get us to open our eyes. But is that true, or are they trying to confuse us, close our eyes? That we all make on our own. That decision we all make on our own in our own time. So I'm going to lay these in here. I've dissected them just to make it interesting on the eye, but whole enough so you can see what the, there we go. Let's slant it a bit so we get all these eyes in. And I'm gonna lay this other one right in with it. And so next, I'd like to bring in an image of finding the key, the golden key, the key that, leads us to where we've been longing to go. Where is that key? If you ever look for that key. And that comes in time. Time and a lot of journeys, that may have caused some pain, but through that pain, there's no mistakes, there's lessons to be learned. And the time you take to learn those lessons and inspire others who may be struggling with some of the same issues that you may be struggling, or similar issues, because no one can know another's pain unless it's actually part of their life. But everyone's life is a accumulation of pain. And the ultimate goal and the ultimate puzzle is to, escape that pain in a way that we create a better day. So let me go in and lay these images in. Again, I'll let them find their way. On their own. I'm going to go here. And here. And I'm going to spread out the outside images to here. And shorten this one. To a whisper of itself. And and it's gonna wrap around. There we go. Let me see if there's anything else that, okay. I'm gonna add one more image in and then we're gonna get into the words. Because the words will bring this all together for us. And it's this mummy man that is gone through some journey in life and blinded and wounded and broken. His heart in his hand. He wants to heal. He wants to be found. He wants to just be. Just be loved, be accepted. Be a part of this whole dichotomy. And the only path to that is forgiveness. And that's what we're talking about today, is forgiveness. So let's go right in. I've dissected this a bit for the case of economy on the canvas. And let's bring it in. Here we go. Ta-da-ta-da. I've been away from studio for a few days, and it's like, you know, Thanksgiving and the holidays upon us, and I'm sort of funked myself, and I needed to pull out of that. So here I am, and I'm grateful to have this to share with you, because you are a huge part in lifting me up. I appreciate all of you, and all the appreciation I get through sharing my stories with you. So let's go on. And you know, that little vacation kind of built in some passion. I don't know if you can feel it in me. And again, this is why I say I like to cut in the moment, because it serves to the artistic process. And here we go, and we're gonna wrap around. And I think we have enough of him. So we're gonna now go into the collective words that I have. I have quite a few, so we're gonna go through and work with what I have and try not to overwork it. So let me see. This is a nice sharp one. I like that. This is clear, direct. This one that I liked here that I can. I'm going to grab my scissors, and this first one I'm going to lay in here is saying, forgive to be forgiven. Because, you know, sometimes we do things that we may regret. And we look for forgiveness in others. And if we don't have that ability to do that the same, how are we then granted that opportunity for someone to forgive us? So it's always wise. And I liked within these words, they had these blooming flowers and some chains that have been snapped. So I think that will drive the message home, let's say.
Breaking down in the dark. I don't know how I fell this far from heaven. Can't put the pieces back together. So you lie there and dream. Here's to the lonely, to the broken hearted.
Anything else I can see? This one I have here that I thought was these seasonal allergies. This one, I key into this one because it says no regrets, only memories. And there's some lyrics to a song of a play that I aspire to rent. And they say, forget regrets, or life is yours to miss. And there's such truth in that statement. And so it's always a good thing to remember along the journey. There's only beautiful memories that we have. And for we not made those, choices, good, bad, or indifferent, those memories would not exist. So again, nothing be an accident. Only this portrayal of your life, living out individually. No one can do it like you do, and no one can live your life like you have. And so, no regrets. Only memories. Okay. Now with that said, let's get into the next fun part of bringing some paint over these images now and doing top painting to tie it all together. I had previously used some stencils. I'm going to see if they're neat enough that I can prepare. We can use them again. So let's add the original palette. And this gets messy. It's okay. Make sure we wipe off our back side. And I want to get some heavy paint down on here so the stencil's images go on easily. But again, remember, there's no mistakes here. We create at our instincts. I use passion to pay it forward. And with that said, get some paint down. There's some vibrancy in the colors. And I'm going to dry my sponge here as much as I can. And let's begin. There's this tab up top here we'll just hold, and we're just gonna lay the paint onto the sponge and bring it over.
City streets and no one sees who we are, just try to make believe that it's all better than it seems.
And now, I always love going in with my palette knife to give a finished feel. That could just be me, but I always feel it does something. More to the image than I am originally embarked to do. So I'm going to lay some colors, some Mars blacks, some reds, and also some white to bring out. It always seems to add. And we're going to go in with our palette knife now, and we are going to add some lines. I love these lines. They seem to create a level of vibration in the painting. And going randomly. And I have some of the previous colors on the palette as well, so that will pick up in with our palette right as I make lines here. And you know, they say I never know when to call it quits. So I'm going to bring this to a close. Just a little bit more. And tie it in, tie it in. Blah. Great. Well, I'm going to kind of zoom in for us so we can get a closer look at the canvas, but then again, I will seal and save this for you to show you at the end with words of inspiration towards creating this. And I hope you enjoyed this time with me. So let's take a quick journey in. And again, I will finish this off, seal it, and have a really great view for you at the end of the video. And please like and subscribe if you like taking this journey with me. And as we continue, I will go on to create more therapeutic healing through art, literature, and painting. Thank you again. Bye now. Thank you for joining me.